Today we are going to learn API testing. Um, there are different types of APIs, that is application programming interface, web, local, library, hardware. Mainly there are web APIs and the APIs which are not internet based APIs. So web APIs, these are common APIs, or web services are also web APIs. They work over the internet using HTTP or HTTPS protocols. They're used for web apps, mobile apps, cloud services. REST API uses JSON for transferring data, mostly, or XML. REST API is fast. It works with HTTP methods. The request methods are get, post, put, delete, and SOAP API. It uses XML. It is more secure but slower than REST API. It is mainly used in banking, financial institutions. There is a GraphQL API, also a popular API. Lets clients request specific data, avoiding overfetching. Overfetching is resolved up to an extent in GraphQL. REST API has problem of overfetching or underfetching. There are local APIs within a system. Local APIs are the one which work inside a system or application. For example, Windows APIs. It lets the program interact with the operating system. There are library APIs, code based. APIs provided by programming languages or libraries. For example, Panda APIs in Python for data manipulation. Hardware APIs are there that allow software to interact with hardware. Example is DirectX API for games communication with GPU. So, first we have to understand client server architecture. What is client server architecture? Tier 1 architecture, when both client and server both are on the same machine. That is one tier architecture. Two-tier architecture is, suppose a banker is using their in-house application connecting to the server and database within the organization. Three-tier is, there is a banker, there is a customer, and customer is connecting to banking app using bank web application, which is connecting to server and database and bringing the information. So client, there is a client tier, there is a business logic tier, and there is a database tier. That is a three-tier architecture. So there is a presentation layer, that is client tier, which is using HTML, JavaScript, CSS technology. Application layer, in which business logic is developed, that is using Java, .NET, Python, C Sharp, C++. And data layer is using suppose Oracle, or MySQL or SQL Server, MongoDB or Postgres, etc. So all web applications are three-tier applications. What is an API and web services? So the difference is, we can say web services are all web services are APIs, but not all APIs are web services. An application programming interface defines how software components interact, while web services, these are specific type of APIs that enables communication between applications over network, often using web technologies like HTTP. All web services are APIs, but not all APIs are web services. Web services specifically require a network and use web based communication protocol like HTTP, SOAP, or REST. Web services typically uses XML, SOAP, or JSON mainly. For API supports multiple formats like JSON, XML. APIs can work over the web. Um, OS library of framework APIs. It can work locally also. Web services example is SOAP-based web services, that is called SOAP API, and RESTful API, RESTful web services. So there are other example is REST API, SOAP API, GraphQL API, Database API, OS API. It uses, for example, let us start with web services. There are SOAP API, REST API. The comparison is RESTful APIs or RESTful web services. They uses HTML methods like get, post, put, delete. The data format, most common data format is JSON or XML for request and response. It is lightweight and faster. It is used for web apps, mobile apps, cloud services. The GET request, for example, is like this, which is having a HTTPS protocol or HTTP protocol. Then the URL, which is having endpoint. For example, here it is city is equal to Phoenix, and the URL is api.weather.com, and the request we are sending is get request. The response we are getting is city Phoenix, temperature 85 degrees Celsius, condition sunny. This is a JSON format response, and response code is 200. Similarly, there is SOAP API. So SOAP SOAP API is using XML, which is heavy. It is a little slower but more secure. It works with HTTP, SMTP, and TCP. It is used for mainly banking, payment, financial institutions, enterprises. The example we can take for a request XML is SOAP envelope, SOAP body, get balance, account number. Is this suppose get balance, SOAP body? So there are XML format opening and closing tags. Same in response, we get opening and closing tags with a response and the response code. When to use REST API versus SOAP API? RESTful API services or REST APIs when you need speed and flexibility. Web apps, mobile apps, SaaS. Prefer JSON format which is lightweight readable. Working with public APIs, Google, Twitter, etc. And when to use SOAP APIs? When high security is the priority and strict rules, banking, healthcare, financial institutions. We need XML based messaging enterprise applications. The type of tools we are using for API testing is most popular tools to test APIs are Postman, and we can use Selenium for automation. This is automation framework. This is also used for testing APIs. Now in next sessions we'll learn more about APIs and testing of API.